All right, guys, let's move on to our winners and losers then. Let me start with you, Rob. The team that you were most impressed with in this first round of action?
Newcastle. I think there's been a lot of talk because of what they achieved last season, that there was a lot of talk that would they be able to back it up? Would they be the same team? Would they struggle to kind of match what they did last season? They had a really tough game against a very good Aston Villa side on the opening day and absolutely wiped the floor with them. Isak up front looked absolutely fantastic. His goals were incredible, and it does start to raise the possibility that Newcastle could upset that established top four again. I think lots of fans ahead of the season were kind of speculating that Newcastle did really well last year, but could they get into that top four again? Would they be the team that dropped out? And Liverpool or Chelsea or Spurs get in there? Well, from the opening weekend, the suggestion is that no, the Newcastle are well intentioned to not only play the Champions League this year, but also qualify for it again next year.
Do you share that same sentiment, Janusz? Is it
Yes. Will it be boring if I say that?
No.
I mean, maybe we can turn that into Eddie Howe and how he continuously show how great a manager he is, right? I mean, with a club, I mean, think about it. We've been just talking about the money that everybody's spending, and certainly Newcastle United have the money. I understand that the financial fair play is different for every club, but I'm sure they could have spent and bought even more players. I mean, by the looks of it, I mean, Stonali, not that he's not important, Harvey Barnes, but they really haven't gone out there and bought these incredible names. They continue to improve window by window. There's rhyme and reason and a plan in terms of how they do it, but also improving the players that they already have, right? I mean, later on, I don't want to spend too much time. We'll get to Alexander Isak. I mean, he's been absolutely tremendous. That midfield, even somebody like Miggy Almiron, who's a coach's or manager's dream, if you will, playing well. And, to do what they've done to this Villa team, that game was a little bit closer for long periods of time, but in the end, even players, managing of the players, right? Callum Wilson on the bench comes in, scores a goal. Harvey Barnes comes in and scores as well and plays a big part. It seems to me that this is, and by the way, I'm going to admit it now, even though I don't have to, I somehow have them outside of my top four in one of our, little prediction games. And I'm starting to regret that already. I kind of knew it ahead of time, but they're making me look silly. No, it's absolutely tremendous what they're giving their fans.
Least impressed with, Rob?
Man United. I thought they were absolutely dreadful. And part of that is the expectation. They had a good season last year. That they've done well, I think, in the transfer market. I think there was an expectation maybe that against Wolves that there would be some kind of marker laid down that would we see this team really announce themselves as possible title challengers, and they really didn't. Wolves deserve a lot of credit. They were fantastic. Gary O'Neill has got them playing, even after just a couple of days preparation after taking over from Lopetegui. But United didn't do themselves any favours at all. They were slow. Some of the players didn't look fit. They didn't create an awful lot of chances. They were really, really fortunate. They would have been fortunate to escape with the draw. So how they managed to win the game 1-0, nobody knows. Gary O'Neill probably on the bus back to Wolverhampton last night with his head in his hands.
Yeah, I'm going to change it because it's too much Premier League. And we're going to have Premier League Express coming in, and I do have my views. And I have Manchester United, but I saw more positives in it because, they still got the points, and I'll explain that later. So hang around, people, when you're watching this for Premier League Express. But, you have to say Bayern Munich against Leipzig, who's lost, players like and Kunku and Konrad Leimer, for example, who played for Bayern Munich, who was an integral part of RB Leipzig as well in the center of the pitch. Harry Kane, I'm not going to put anything on him because he came in at a time where, I thought the game was decided. But for Bayern Munich, big issues that I thought may have gone away. This is a big news with Harry Kane. The biggest issues, of course, are behind the scenes with Thomas Tuchel, who's a manager that I'm starting to wonder how good he truly really is. Because as we know, he's had issues with players at Chelsea. He's had issues with players at Paris Saint-Germain. And even towards the end of the last season, and already this season, there's already talk about issues with Thomas Tuchel as well. So although the Bundesliga opens up on our air, by the way, sorry, this weekend. And, this trophy you could lose, but at home to Leipzig, they've lost most of their key players, 3-0. I'm giving it to them, Rob.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.